its sponsors, staff, or management.
But see, I'm glad that Ron stepped out yesterday.
That was huge.
That was huge.
That was huge, especially with all the talk.
Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Fever! Fever!
Okay.
Fever! Fever! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
Yeah, folks are tripping about that part. It's like, wait a minute now, y'all want to.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit.
Well, man, let me just say this. I ain't questioning that. So whatever everybody says don't happen, then Delano, 14-2. I ain't gonna tell y'all was 14-2 because you might think you beat me.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this
Yeah,
in your mind, the heat of football.
How you just 15-1?
Bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Don't disrespect the game like this. Is much more He's a man. Just like this. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. You still want to kill, man. That's more.
That was good luck. That was some good luck.
This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad.
Stand by, man. Stand by. I think they pretty crisp. Let's see. That part ain't crisp enough. Oh, man. You all right. Ain't nobody ever been undefeated. No, this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Winning Wednesday, and why not start it off with the winner who's over here got me, man. So, Big Time Floyd, you were 15-1 in the lunch break weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. It did not come down to the tiebreaker, but you had the Cowboys winning that too. Big Time Floyd, before I give you these crisp $50, how are you 15-1, man?
Well, I told my sister that she's a big Mahomes fan.
Yeah.
And they said, Floyd, don't bet against Mahomes. I said, look, I'm going with the Chargers because the way they played against the Cowboys, I figured they had a little juice left in them.
Yeah.
And what they did, they weren't intimidated by Kansas City.
Right.
And Mahomes, the gunslinger, he's reckless. Sometimes he can wing it, but sometimes he makes mistakes, and that cost him.
That did cost them. That was one of the games I missed on, and I missed on Seattle and Minnesota.
And like Aaron Rodgers bailed me out in 37 seconds. That was too much time for Aaron. But no timeouts. Got in position and still kicked the field goal under pressure.
Well, let me tell you something, man. Aaron Rodgers is, like I said, I feel like that first game, he did a little Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, where those guys, wouldn't take shots. They kept passing the ball to other people just to let them know, if you don't like the way I flow, then y'all can do it this way. But ever since then, Aaron Rodgers has been on fire.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to one bad game. Everybody's human, but the man can make throws under pressure.
Right.
Devontae Adams under pressure catching the ball.
Right.
So it's a long season. Last season, Tampa started off struggling.
Yeah.
But they rolled at the right time last year, and they were able to run the table.
Yeah, and that's what I told people. Don't look at what you see right now with teams like Tampa Bay, with teams like Green Bay, and with my New Orleans Saints. But anyway, don't look at what you see now and think that's what you're going to see at the end of the year, because some of these teams are still trying to work out some of the kinks to start the year. So Big Time Floyd, 15-1, won $50 in the Lunch Break Weekly, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. And right now, you're at number 1 with 34 wins. George Griffin, number 2. T-Bone, number 3. Delano tied at 3rd. Amber, Todd are tied for 5th. And just outside would be Alice, Rio, They're at 30 wins. You got to be in the top 6 in order to compete for the $500. So, Big Time Floyd.
The second time I've done it, AJ.
Yeah, I know, man. Look, don't rub it in.
I gotta rub it in.
Don't rub it in. Why you rubbing it in? Okay, so there's $40, and I'll keep that 10 for processing. Administration fee.
Thank you, AJ. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Big Time Floyd. And while I got you, go and say a few things about your little old Cowboys. You know, they tried to look good on Monday night.
Well, the Cowboys played a complete game. I like the balance with the run-in with Zeke and Mr. Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
And really, McCarthy has too many weapons. He's got the tight ends of slinging.
Yeah.
The defense, they energize the young guns out there.
Yeah.
And Dan Quinn, I like his defensive strategy. Get out that zone, play man-to-man, in your face.
Yep.
If you beat me, you just beat me.
Yep. I got to be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to work out with Micah Parsons on that defensive line, but that young man is a player. That young man is a player.
And can you imagine DeMarcus Lawrence being out, and then when he comes back, we got Randy Gregory.
I was just going to say, Lawrence, Gregory, Parsons, that defense is something. And again, the NFC East runs through the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care about Washington. I definitely don't care about the Giants. Philly's probably going to get it together, maybe. But the Dallas Cowboys, they should handle that NFC East.
Now, the only thing that there's a glaring deal I like about Dak realized that, I don't know why they call that play 5 yards on the goal line of passing. You run the ball, get some space with Zeke or Pollard, then you can open it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but he made a mistake. He admitted to it, but the thing also on the offensive line, Connor Williams, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Mike McCarthy can't get somebody else to do a better job, those penalties kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to say, I'm not worried about one bad offensive lineman because you can replace that.
Yeah.
It's when, like last year, the Cowboys had like 3 leaky spots on that offensive line that nobody could get, could get fixed right away. So, again, I've got your Cowboys doing real well. You going to go 15-1 this week because, you beat me this week.
Well, I don't know, but I was lucky. Aaron Rodgers bailed me out. So, it was the luck of the draw.
Okay, all right.
But one thing about the Cowboys I can say, Dan Quinn is making McCarthy coach a little better this year.
Absolutely.
He's looking over his shoulder.
He better be.
Jerry Jones said, hey, if you don't get it done this year with all this talent, and I don't mean just no NFC championship, NFC East.
Right.
I mean at least NFC championship.
Absolutely.
Nothing less. Nothing short of NFC championship.
Absolutely. See,
whether we play the Rams or Tampa
or whoever.
One of the two.
Yep.
We need to be in the mix.
Yep.
And we show we can compete with anybody.
I'm telling you, a lot of folks thought that first game against Tampa was a fluke. It wasn't. And they beat the Chargers, which is a legit team. So I got news for you. Cowboys are I can't believe I'm saying this because I don't want to hear from Longhorn Keith. Cowboys are legit. So we'll see if they can maintain it for the rest of the season. Again, congratulations, Big Time Floyd, $50 cash winner, courtesy of the sports and wellness doctor, Dr. Alexis McClurkin Johnson. Y'all go online. You can check her out at www.sportsandwellnessdoc.com. Be sure to tell her AJ sent you from The Lunch Break. All right, we got to take a break. I'm going to walk Big Time Floyd out. But y'all.
AJ, excuse me, one more thing.
Yeah.
Everybody out there in radio land and everywhere, please get vaccinated.
Yeah.
All the hype, all the static on social media, this stuff is real.
Yeah, it is.
Get vaccinated and then we all get back to normal.
Yep.
Thank you, AJ.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. We'll be right back right after this.
Get up mornings with Erica Campbell. More prizes and more winners.
You are a winner.
Yay!
Get up mornings. Hello, who's this?
This is Leanna,
Hi, Leanna. Where you calling from?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Leanna, what is the word of the day?
Party, join the party, y'all.
Hey! Congratulations. You win $100 in Erica Campbell's cash and a chance for a trip for two to fly away to Atlanta. Airfare, hotel, ground transportation, and a chance to meet and greet some of your favorite gospel artists. How you feeling?
I'm claiming that too.
Come on, come on.
That's right.
Now tell us, what show just made you a winner?
Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell. Woo!
Show did. Congratulations.
I have so many friends that I know.
I am Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. When you hear people talking about how successful they were in their past, often they have not completed anything notable since then. Somewhere, they achieved a momentous milestone and felt they had reached the ceiling of prosperity. When you give one victory in your life precedence over others, you accept that position without pursuing another win. When you are running laps in a race and you're the first one to finish the first lap, but if you discontinue running at the current lap because you were ahead, you will not finish the race. Life is like that. After you finish the first lap, you must keep running to the next lap and continue running the laps until you have completed your race.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now.
Yes, sir.
The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Not to be dramatic, but I'm obsessed with how much I just saved at Kohl's. I got 25% off Nike clothes for the kids, the cutest $39.99 flex hoodie for me, and got great Columbia gear for all our outdoor adventures. Did I mention the extra 20% off and the Kohl's cash I got? So yeah, not sure what I love more, fall deals or fall weather. Select styles, 20% offer ends October 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
You're listening to Shiloh Radio, the legendary KYOK 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life through Jesus Christ with Shy.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of the Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Give the people what they want.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all. It's hot in here. It's hot in here. It is hot in here. Big Time Floyd came in with his little 15-1 record. 15-1. Who goes 15-1? And he's done that before. I think he is the only one that I know of that has been 15-1. So congratulations to him. And again, just to give you the top 10 standings right now, Big Time Floyd, number 1. George Griffin and T-Bone are tied for no, George Griffin is second. T-Bone and Delano are tied for third. Amber and Todd tied for fifth. And then you got Alice and Rio tied for seventh. Erica, Alexis, Keisha Kelly, Milo, Keith Hennick are all tied for ninth. And then you drop down to 14. You got Ferdinand, CJ, Chi-Town, Jasmine, Erica. No, that's not right. Erica's not in there with 28. She's at 29. So, again, at 14, you got Ferdinand, CJ, Chi-Town, and Jasmine. And then at 19, you've got Charlotte, Danny, Emmanuel. 22, you got Oz, 22, you got Big Mike. 24, you got Clarence. And 25, Flex, bringing up the rear. Flex, bringing up the rear. And then you got a whole lot of other folks way down there. You got somebody who only had 4 wins this past weekend. I don't know what they're picking. So anyway, that's what we got. We'll get back into that this week. If you want to get in, you don't have to purchase anything. You don't have to buy anything. Heck, you don't even have to know anything. All you got to do is decide who you think is going to win starting tomorrow night with Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Take that all the way through the Monday night game. Give me all the winners. You got this team, that team, whoever you think is going to win those games. And then for Monday night, tell me who you think is going to win, plus what the exact final score is going to be. 27-7, 15-14, 38-33, whatever you think the final score is going to be for both teams, give us that, because that will be the tiebreaker should it come down to it. And you got to have those to me by tomorrow at 6:30. Got to have them to me by 6:30. You can text them 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Or email them, aj@kylksports.com, aj@kylksports.com. You can win $50. You can win $50 on the lunch break. And again, we got a new sponsor this week. I'll be announcing that as well. So that's what we got so far. All right, let me take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about quarterbacks. We'll do that right here on the lunch break. It's Winning Wednesday on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right. Look, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but we got new quarterback power rankings that have come out after this weekend in the NFL. And I know Pete Prisco has put his out, and it's the same old suit. He's already got Aaron Rodgers back in the top 5. He's got Tom Brady up there. He's got all that. Same old. Can we just do it based on performances? I mean, every now and then, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play as well as somebody else. Every now and then, Tom Brady doesn't play as well as somebody else. And it's just not fair to the other quarterbacks out there that put in a good day's work. They ought to be recognized And that's how we're doing it on the lunch break. And I'm not just making up numbers. These are the actual passer ratings for these quarterbacks. And before somebody says, oh, yeah, well, that's a fake number. QBR, which ESPN made up so that they could sound smart and relevant, that's a made up stat. But the passer rating's been out there for a long time, and that's why I stick with it. I'm a numbers guy. This thing is more accurate than anything else. All right, number one quarterback this week. Number one quarterback this week was Russell Wilson, even in a loss. Had a passer rating of 133.6. 133.6. Right behind him, the dude that if I had to give a quarterback or a player the MVP leading vote getting for right now, I would go with this guy, Matthew Stafford. He was second in passer rating, 129.8. Then we come down to the guy that beat Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, 118.3. He is at number 3. Number 4, they didn't want him in Carolina. They glad they got him in Denver. Teddy Bridgewater, 116.4. And he's got his team undefeated. Congratulations. Kyler Murray has been balling. Kyler Murray at number 5, 113.4. Then we go to Patrick Mahomes, 111.7. Tom Brady, what number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tom Brady is at 7th. Jalen Hurts in a loss at 108. Jalen Hurts in a loss at 108 is 8th. Joe Burrow is 9th, 105.4. Aaron Rodgers is 10th. Aaron Rodgers is 10th at 102.9. 11 is the bake man, Baker Mayfield, 102.1 after this weekend. Jameis Winston is 12th, 101.8. Derek Carr, 13, 101.4. Jimmy Garoppolo, 14, 101.2. Dak Prescott is at 15, and he had a heck of a game. Dak Prescott, 15, 99.1. Sam Darnold, 16, 99 even. Justin Herbert, 97.9. Taylor Heineke, 97.8. 19, Josh Allen, 95.5. Daniel Jones is 20. Derek Goff, 21. Ryan Tannehill, 22. Matt Ryan, I got at 23. Passer rating 87.1. Lamar Jackson, 24. Carson Wentz, 25. Davis Mills, 26. Mac Jones, 27. Ben Roethlisberger, 28. Jacoby Brissett, 29. Trevor Lawrence, 30. Ryan, no, you can't put him in. Zach Wilson, 31. And Justin Fields had the toughest day this past week, 39.9 quarterback rating. 39.9. Justin Fields, bottom of the barrel. But again, the guy that consistently is on top is Matthew Stafford. In fact, he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. NFC Offensive Player of the Week was Matthew Stafford. Congratulations to him. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, Offensive Player of the Week on the AFC side. Notice how the quarterback play is translating into wins and games where quarterbacks and teams are still in it. You got bad quarterback play, you probably are not hanging in some of these games. L-Dub, what's going on, brother? We're talking about winning today. Talking about winning. And quarterbacks are the key. Notice how these rookie quarterbacks are all at the bottom. All at the bottom. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, all at the bottom. All at the bottom. Mac Jones at the bottom. Davis Mills at the bottom. In fact, the highest ranking rookie, let me see. Make sure I got this right. Highest ranking rookie. Who is that? Going back through. Highest ranked rookie right now is Davis Mills. Davis Mills. Then Mac Jones. Then Trevor Lawrence. Then Zach Wilson. Then Justin Fields. I put it this way. I'm not about to pen an apology to Davis Mills just yet. Not going to do that. I will give a lot of credit to the coaching staff of the Houston Texans for putting a plan in place to try to help Davis Mills be successful. I'll definitely do that. Because they had him getting the ball out so quick to start that game. I mean, he could barely get pressure on him, and that credit goes to the coaching staff. I mean, credit to the young man for doing it, but credit to the coaching staff for putting that plan in place. Now, yesterday, head coach David Culley said that the Texans were going to give Davis Mills more of the playbook. We're going to open it up and let him have access to just about everything and see how he does it. We'll see. That Buffalo defense will be a very good litmus test. Very good litmus test. Now, the thing that I'm keeping my eye on is not only Davis Mills and how quickly he processes information and gets the ball out of his hand, but how much time that offensive line gives him. He got sacked 4 times last week. Could have been 5. One got called back on a penalty. But he got sacked 4 times last Thursday. So we'll see how things go for them Sunday at noon up in Buffalo. I'll go through and make my picks in just a little bit. But I think it's going to be a tough weekend for Davis Mills and the Houston Texans. I think it's going to be a tough weekend. There's going to be some interesting games coming up this weekend. Heck, why not? Let's get to them now. Let's get to the NFL games this weekend. Let's do it now. It's Winning Wednesday. We didn't gave Big Time Floyd all the money. We done gave Big Time Floyd all the money. So, starting tomorrow night, Jaguars at the Bengals. The Bengals are almost an 8-point favorite in that game. When's the last time the Bengals have been more than a touchdown favorite in a game? They're at home. Trevor Lawrence is not playing well. If he's not leading the league in interceptions, he's right there near the top. So the Bengals at home, a little bit less than a touchdown favorite. I'm going with the Bengals. Joe Burrow has seemed to have found his groove. And that LSU connection that they set up at the wide receiver quarterback spot is nice. And Joe Mixon is the second leading rusher in the NFL right now, which is nice. And they're giving Burrow time to be Joe Burrow. They're giving him time to be who they brought him in to be. I don't know who got to Zach Taylor, but he's starting to call a whole lot better game than he did last season. And I get it. Burrow got hurt early, and then they had to kind of figure it out from there. But still. And he had to do that because he's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. If they don't turn it around, they win 1, 2, 3 games this year. Zach Taylor's gone. Got to be gone. You're going to see me out in front of the stadium with my sign, free the Bengals from Zach Taylor. I wasn't crazy about the hire. I'm a Marvin Lewis fan. Anybody that takes the Bengals to 5 straight playoffs, I don't care about winning them. Now, listen. Oh, but he didn't win any. He took the Bengals to 5 straight playoffs. If you're not from that area, you don't know how big that is. You have no idea how big that is. So when they brought him in over Marvin Lewis, who's this guy? But if he's going to turn them around like this, I'm good. I might have to pull out a press release for him. Hey, Toddy, how you doing, man? Appreciate it, man. A pleasure to have somebody from the BNC Sports tuning into the lunch break. If you don't know what BNC is, you need to check it out. It's where I get my news and information. And look, and about to start really focusing on them from sports because they got a good brother running the show now. Love it. Love it. Thank you for tuning in, sir. But anyway, I got the Bengals over the Jaguars on Thursday night. Then Sunday, of course, Texans and Bills. The Bills are a 17-point favorite. 16.5, 17, I round up. I've never seen a half point in a football game. I don't know if it's going to be that bad. I'll give it 2 touchdowns. But I believe the Bills are going to win at home. I really do believe the Bills are going to win at home. Cowboys and the Panthers. Cowboys hosting the Carolina Panthers. Cowboys are 4.5-point favorite. Panthers coming in with the second best defense in the NFL, right behind the Denver Broncos as far as scoring goes. And Sam Darnold hadn't really made too many mistakes. Here's the key. No Christian McCaffrey. No, not going to play. And I know they got other guys back there, but nobody can do everything that Christian McCaffrey can do, and as well. So I think that puts a little bit more pressure on Sam Darnold. And, oh, yeah, by the way, you're not playing the Texans this week on a short week. You got a Cowboys team that's riding high off of a division win on Monday Night Football in front of a national audience, and they are not going to be looking to – in fact, they probably consider this to be a signature game. If they can knock Carolina from the ranks of the unbeaten, hey, they'll be strutting around like crazy. Come on, Longhorn Keith, go to scripture, chapter, and verse for me on that one. Cowboys knock Carolina off from the ranks of the undefeated, and my gosh, they'll probably hold a parade. I don't think Dak Prescott is going to get sacked, 4 or 5 times like Davis Mills. I definitely don't think he'll get worked like some of the other quarterbacks that Carolina has played. Now, if Carolina's defense is that good, we'll know Sunday at noon in Dallas. I'm going Cowboys on that one. Colts and the Dolphins. I want to say this real fast and in a hurry with my chest. The Colts are not as good as people thought they were. I don't know if folks went with, Frank Reich. I think he's a great head coach, but you can't just throw him anything in a brown paper bag and he can turn it into a gourmet meal. I think people got a little bit too enamored with what Frank Reich did with Phillip Rivers last year and thought he could do the same thing with Carson Wentz. And don't give me that Carson Wentz was hurt. Carson Wentz is always hurt. And the statement that Frank Reich made should send chills down the spines of anyone who calls themselves a New England Patriot, an Indianapolis Colts fan. And that was that Carson Wentz, slightly injured, gave them the best chance to win. What? What are you talking about? So all that talk about Jacob Eason, and he's still not as good as a banged-up Carson Wentz? Sam Ellinger, I think he's still hurt. But Todd Hundley? Huh? I'm sorry. Frank Reich will forever be the comeback kid of the NFL for me with what he did with the Oilers, against the Oilers. And he will always be a good head coach in the league. But hey, every now and then, you got to have some players and not just brown paper bag players. Carson Wentz is a brown paper bag player. Jacob Eason, brown paper bag player. Sam Ellinger, brown paper bag player. Todd Hundley, I love Todd. Came out of what, UCLA? What's he done in the league? I'm not going to put him in the ranks of Drew Brees, Tom Brady. I don't think that the Colts have everything that they need to get the job done. Now, are they better than the Dolphins? Dolphins are about a 2-point favorite at home. I got to take a break. I'm going to tell you what this game is when we come back.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. Again, that's 800-561-6198.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune in to the legendary KYOK at the lunch break. And I'm Raven Rogers.
All right, Raven Rogers, appreciate you. She got honored at the Texans game on Thursday night. Again, just so happy for her, so proud of Raven Rogers. Hope she keeps up the good work. All right, so anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. Talking about that Colts game against Miami. Jacoby Brissett, more than likely going to be the starting quarterback. I feel like this is going to be a redemption game for Jacoby Brissett. I followed the Colts when Jacoby Brissett was their starting quarterback the year before they brought in Phillip Rivers. And I'm sorry, I know I didn't see practice, so whatever Frank Reich and the team saw in practice, I'll give them that. What I did see was the games. And I saw Jacoby Brissett keeping them in some games. And then I saw him get hurt. And he hurt his MCL, which is important in the life of a quarterback. So he's out. They bring in Brian Hoyer, who had a tough go of it. I mean, excuse my assessment of Brian Hoyer that season. He played like trash. to the point where they rushed Jacoby Brissett back with a bad knee. Brace or no brace, a quarterback needs to have his legs underneath him securely. And Jacoby Brissett could not push off on passes. He couldn't push the ball downfield. He couldn't put the kind of velocity and accuracy on the ball. And they did. They missed out on a chance to make the playoffs. They hung all of that on Jacoby Brissett. They put all of that on Jacoby Brissett. And I'm sorry, that's a management problem. You decided Brian Hoyer was your best bet at backup quarterback. You rushed Jacoby Brissett back. And what did they do the next year? They went out and got another quarterback. Buried Jacoby on the bench. What did they do the year after that? They went out and got another quarterback and let Jacoby go. And now Jacoby has a chance to be a starter down in Miami now that Tua is out. And guess what? He didn't play great last weekend. But I bet he's going to give it everything he's got this weekend, because he's going up against a team that gave up on him. The team that didn't give him the best, put him in the best position to win and gave up on him. Jacoby Brissett's going to have, he might not say it because he's a good young man. He might not say, oh yeah, this is a big one for me. This is personal. He's not going to say that. That's not the kind of dude he is. But baby, you better believe he's going to go through his progressions. You better believe when he sees something, he's going to nail it. He's going to have a little more pep in his step this weekend against his former team. I'm going with Jacoby Brissett and the Miami Dolphins in the win on that one. Jacoby Brissett and the Miami Dolphins in the win on that one. All right, Giants at the Saints. How much more time are y'all going to give Joe Judge? How much more time are y'all going to give him? I'm asking for myself. How much more time are y'all going to give Dave Gettleman? I'm asking for myself. Supposedly, Dave Gettleman had one of the best drafts in Giants history. Everybody was raving about it. All the analysts, all of them. Oh, yeah, the Giants draft. Say what you want to say about Dave Gettleman. The Giants draft and Joe Judge and Daniel Jones. Oh, yeah. Where that? When's that kick in? Was there an expiration date on that draft? What happened? I think the Saints defense is going to make the day long for Joe Judge, Daniel Jones, and Dave Gettleman. Is Saquon Barkley going to be able to get it done by himself? No. Remember who Gettleman said was going to be as good as an option as Odell Beckham Jr.? You think he's going to have a big day? No. Lattimore, Jenkins, and others, they're going to lock him up. And I don't think Daniel Jones has gotten to the point where he can really, really read the entire field quickly and make alternative decisions as opposed to locking on a receiver based on the play. I'm going with the Saints in that one. Titans at the Jets, I'm not even going to waste my time on them. Derrick Henry is going to run wild. It's going to be a tough day for Mr. Wilson. And again, I think that one's going to be all Tennessee. Titans go to 3-1 after this one. This is going to be an interesting game. The Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are a 1.5-point underdog in that game. Washington's defense has not yet shown up and started playing the kind of football that they played last season. And again, Taylor Heineke looked good in that game against Tampa Bay. He looked good in the game when he came in to spell Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hadn't looked good since. But I don't know if the Falcons have enough defensively to make Taylor Heineke uncomfortable. So I'm going to say this. Washington should win that game. But if Atlanta does, I don't know. Whatever y'all thought Washington was coming into this season, clearly they're not. Clearly they're not. I'm going with Washington, but I got my eye on that one. Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Again, Justin Fields. Don't know if he's going to be the starter. Don't know if they're going to trot out there Andy Dalton. Don't know if they're going to trot out there Nick Foles. The fact that they are trying to decide between Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, and Nick Foles is the problem for me. That's the problem for me. What's up with that offensive line? If I'm the head coach of the Bears, I'm rolling out a different offensive line just to see if there are other guys on that team that can give you something other than what you've already seen in 3 games this year. Who are the backups? Put them in. Let's see what they got. I mean, that's almost becoming the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I don't think I've seen an offensive line worse than what I'm seeing in Chicago right now. And I've seen some bad offensive line, Houston. That being said, Detroit is an underdog in this one. In Chicago, the Bears should beat the Lions. But for some reason, I'm thinking the Lions are going to get their first win of the season. For some reason, I'm thinking Jared Goff is going to do enough to get the Lions their first win of the season. If the Lions lose this on some kind of crazy play or unbelievable, record-breaking something, man, I don't know. I feel bad for the Detroit fans. I'm going to go with the Lions on the road in that one. Minnesota and the Browns. Willie Gibson, where are you? Willie Gibson, where are you? Again, this is one of those games where Cleveland has got to step up. Cleveland has got to step up. And again, Cleveland is not yet full force. It's not yet full force. But they should not lose to Minnesota. That defense is going to have to stop the run. Because Minnesota can run the ball. But what Cleveland's defense can't do is allow Kirk Cousins to get comfortable where he's running around pointing, talking about, you like that? You like that? Don't let him like anything. And then, of course, Cleveland's got the offensive weapons to put a lot of pressure on Minnesota's defense. Let's see, the line in that game is the Browns by 2. So yeah, I'm not just pumping it up. That game's gonna be closer than a lot of folks think. It's in Minnesota. Can Cleveland go on the road and beat Minnesota? I'm gonna say yes, but Willie. Brother, I feel, man, I really almost need to apologize now. If Cleveland loses that one, you might not want to answer my call over the weekend. Like Sunday evening, if I call you, you might want to let that just go to voicemail because I know I'm going to say something silly. I know I'm going to say something silly if Cleveland loses to Minnesota Sunday. Willie, don't answer my call. Just saying. Hey, I digress for a second. I got to get ready to do the birthdays. And I also want to, I got to get Sybil Wilkes on here with what you need to know today. Real quick, I've been watching the movie the documentary Enslaved. If you're not familiar with it, you got to get up on it. It's Samuel L. Jackson's exploration into his history, his ancestors. And not just his, but just, not the slave trade and human trafficking that took place back in the 1800s. And not just from the standpoint of what happened, but the ships that did make it. And the revolts that never got covered. Because think about it. If folks are rewriting history now, I know they rewrote them back then where our ancestors fought back and won or sank ships that never made it. And one of the things that stood out for me was the role that Cleveland and Northern Ohio played, Sandusky, Cleveland, and surrounding towns played in the Underground Railroad. Not just as we know it, but there were ships that docked in Sandusky, and there were churches in Cleveland that literally hid some of our ancestors so that they could be ferried over to Canada. And I got a lot more appreciation for those towns than I had before. And, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio originally. So, I love my state, but I tell you what, man, I got a lot more respect for Cleveland and Sandusky, Ohio, and some of those other towns than I had before. Because, man, that documentary has really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I did not know. So, again, nothing but love for Cleveland and Northern Ohio for, making sure that plenty more of our ancestors than we know, got away. Plenty more than we know got away. If you haven't started watching that documentary, you need to watch it. It's called Enslaved. It's on Peacock. It's on the Epix network. And if you got Fire Stick, you can get it on Fire Stick on Kodi. So there you go. All right, let me do some birthdays, and then we'll come back with Sybil Wilkes and what you need to know after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. All right, let me get to these birthdays. All right, happy birthday going out to Tisha Benjamin, 42 years old. Ellen Chapman is celebrating her birthday, along with Crystal V. She's 35, look at 25. Blanche Mosley is 62 today. Happy birthday, dear. Charles Days is celebrating a birthday along with Michael Floyd. Michael, 23 years old. Mika Jones, one of my former church members, celebrating her birthday. She's a big 4-0 today. Netra Williams celebrating a birthday along with Marcy Steele and Joe Lindemann. So I grew up with Joe and his family, and here are their kids. Randy Ron, Jeannie John, Judy Joe. So Joe, the youngest, is celebrating his birthday today. Randy Ron, Jeannie John, Judy Joe. That used to be the thing. Who can remember the Lindemann? So happy birthday to them. All right, let me also get the celebrity birthdays on. Today, celebrating a birthday, Bryant Gumbel, one of my favorites in sports broadcast journalism from New Orleans, Louisiana. John Paxson, former guard for the Bulls, was born in Dayton, Ohio. Hershey Hawkins, how many of y'all remember Hershey Hawkins for his days with the Seattle Supersonics, a guard in the NBA? And then one of the baddest linebackers to play the game, Ken Norton Jr. Y'all remember his dad knocked out Muhammad Ali. The Megatron celebrating a birthday today, Calvin Johnson. Happy birthday to him. And none other than Kevin Aloysius Durant celebrating a birthday today. All right, Usher, give them their music.
Oh, go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
All right, happy birthday to everybody celebrating birthdays today, as well as special anniversaries. I know there are a lot of couples celebrating their wedding anniversaries. There are a lot of people celebrating great holidays and birthdays and anniversaries. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to you and yours. All right, let me hit the top of the hour. We'll come back with that and Sybil Wilkes right after this on the lunch break.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time Game time. What time is it? Let's go. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from that. He's a man. He can be a hit just like this. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, that's just first hour on the book, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We are streaming live on kyokradio.org, on Facebook, and on YouTube, and it is the Lunch Break, Winning Wednesday. Congratulations, Big Time Floyd. He's already come in and picked up his $50 cash winnings from this week's Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. He was 15-1. He got $50 courtesy of the sports and wellness doctor, Dr. Alexis Johnson McClurkin. You can go online at www.sportsandwellnessdoc.com. You can definitely look her up and let her know that AJ sent you. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on. We'll be right back right after this on the Lunch Break.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Congressional Democrats are scrambling to extend funding for the federal government with less than 48 hours left to avoid a partial shutdown. Possible shutdown would happen at the start of the fiscal year beginning Friday if a bill to fund the government does not pass both the House and the Senate. Funding for the federal government expires Thursday at the end of this current fiscal year. Besides overall government funding and debt, lawmakers face votes on infrastructure and President Joe Biden's social welfare priorities this week. The diversity of Los Angeles is on display in the emerging race to replace Mayor Eric Garcetti. Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass formally stepped into the 2022 contest Monday, hoping to become the first female and only the second Black mayor. Bass has promised to prioritize the city's unchecked homeless crisis, which is seeing trash-strewn encampments spread into virtually every corner of the city. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, thank you very much there, Sybil Wilkes, right here on the Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Winning Wednesday. We're going through some of these NFL games to see who I think is going to get the win. Just got a message from my daughter, looking real quick. Okay, everything's okay. I'll respond back to her in a little bit. But talking about these games, and I got to go back to this Tennessee game because now I'm getting news that the Titans may be without Julio Jones and A.J. Brown at wide receiver. So let me see if that changes my mind about what I think is going to happen. Let's see, Tennessee is at the Jets. Now, that ain't going to change nothing. That ain't going to change nothing. Hey, hello, you're live on the Lunch Break. Who's this?
What's going on, my brother? It's Longhorn Keith.
I was waiting on the hallelujah or the I know he's all right. I'm going to start calling you the Reverend. Yeah, man. Yeah, you was funny. You were funny. You were funny yesterday, bro. You were hilarious.
Well, I was calling to give Brother Ferdinand, who is by far not just caller of the year, but also one of the most inspirational brothers to call this show. He has great faith and great hope. I wanted to let him know the secret coffee that I drink, and it's called. And I want y'all to get a pen and get this down, man, because this coffee will change your life. And let me know when you're ready to write this down.
Hold on, man. Let me get my little pen just in case I want to write this down. Go ahead.
So the name of the coffee is Cowboy Coffee. Cowboy Coffee. All right. I bought them Cowboys. AJ, I bought them Cowboys. Listen, AJ, that coffee will change and revolutionize your life. I'm telling you, you should try it. It's a coffee that makes you wake up with it. You ever just woke up and you was feeling kind of down, then all of a sudden you drink something and it's like, man, I feel like women today. That's what if you've never had it, it's because you never had Cowboy Coffee. I can tell you about some other coffees, but I'll just tell you about that one right today.
I'm really, you know what? I'm not even mad at you because this is what Cowboy fans have been known for. And because we haven't gotten it so much, I'm just glad to see it again. You are like, we need to put you on the endangered species list. We do.
Well, don't be it yet. I'm telling you. Wait till we win the Super Bowl. I think you may have some callers that may hate my guts after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did talk about you. Hey, Longhorn Keith, I did talk about you on one of our other stations. I do sports updates with J.J. Williams on the Afternoon Delight on KWWJ, our flagship station. And I told him that there was a Cowboy fan that said, you need to get ready for the Super Bowl. And I was like, man, that was the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. I think this might be Ferdinand on the other line. Hold on. Let me conference him in. Stay right there. Don't nobody go anywhere. Okay. Don't nobody go anywhere. I think this might be Ferdinand. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
What's up? What's up? It's Uncle Bob.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I so didn't want to do that. I got two of the biggest Cowboy fans in the world on my phone at the same time. Uncle Buck, let me introduce you to Longhorn Keith. Longhorn Keith, let me introduce you to Hall of Fame caller, Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck, how you doing?
Longhorn Keith?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir? All right, what's up? Longhorn Keith. Oh, no, hold on. I just want to, I called AJ just to kind of remind him. Uncle Buck, can you please help me to inform the nation and more importantly, to prepare them? We're like the weather people when it comes to sports. We try to give you updates about the storm that's going to be before it hits. And we have on our radar detector a Super Bowl up ahead. So get out your Cowboy gear and get ready to go.
Oh, man.
It's after Cowboy Nation is on the rise. Yes, sir. Y'all might as well get ready. We down 5 starters. I'm going to say that again. 5 starters. We got backup come in and play like they were starters. Now, AJ, I know you got something to say.
I'm afraid to even open my mouth. My head hurts. My stomach hurts. I need to go to the school nurse because I don't want to be in school no more. Y'all done taught me more than I want to know today.
Well, we know you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
Okay.
I'm not a hater. I just haven't had Cowboy talk like this in a long time. And I don't want to turn it down because y'all usually don't have nothing to say. So now that y'all finally got something to talk about, I'm glad to see y'all haven't forgotten how to talk as crazy as you could possibly talk.
Well, Uncle Buck's been in quarantine for the last 8-9 months from the telephone.
Okay, look, translation. Uncle Buck been in the witness protection program. But go ahead, Uncle Buck. Go ahead.
but I'm back.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell. You got your phone working again. And Longhorn Keith has been holding it down for you Cowboy fans because, man, ain't nobody been saying nothing. So I'm glad the Cowboys have something to talk about again. It's been a long time. We've missed y'all.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, just say this. Uncle AJ.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck say, get off my telephone.
Uncle Buck, get off my phone. I'm hanging up on you. Bye. All right, Longhorn Keith, I'm for real. He is a Hall of Fame caller. Him and Aunt Bev are in the Lunch Break Hall of Fame. And before you, I didn't think there was a bigger Cowboy fan. And I mean it, boy. You about as crazy as Uncle Buck is. I might have to put you in the Hall of Fame. You keep playing.
Listen, man, here's the reason why I called, too. In addition to that, have you seen that report today, this book that's coming out next month about Bill O'Brien stating that he was trying to get fired? And he was with the Texans?
Wait a minute. No, I ain't heard nothing about that. Bring me on up. What happened?
Let me tell you something. So it's on the Crown.com's website today. But there's a book that's being published that's coming out, and unfortunately I'm driving. I don't have the information in front of me. But it came out earlier today that he was trying, his own words were, he was trying to get fired when he was with the Texans. And let me just tell you, most of the times, and you know this better than I do, as a journalism major, I'm convinced that you can't write or report something that is not factually based, or at least you haven't proven it. So even if just an allegation of this is true, this guy should never coach again. And for the Texans fans and for the organization, if this is actually true, and they kept a guy in place who was derelict in his duties and responsibility, everybody in that organization needs to be questioned. Beginning with the owner, obviously, and then secondly, with the second person in charge, and that's the pastor preacher guy, Easterby. I think that's just horrible.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. And they're saying that the book says that Bill O'Brien was trying to get fired by the Texans so he could take over for Bill Belichick in New England.
How ridiculous is that?
Say it again.
I mean, tell me how ridiculous that is.
No, bro, that's man, I'm trying to choose my words carefully so I don't lose my gig fooling around with Bill O'Brien. That is as low as it gets. And that's that stuff I don't want to hear. He's well respected around the league. I don't want to hear, well, everybody does it. I don't want to hear that that's the nature of the business. When you got people that are busting their tails, studying day and night, sleeping in their office, trying to get a shot to be head coaches, and you got a guy that is literally sabotaging an organization so he could get fired to take the job he wants, that, my friends, is the definition of privilege right there. If you don't understand what the word privilege is, and that triggers you and makes you feel some kind of way, well, I got news for you. That's the definition of privilege right there.
You know, I can't remember exactly what show it was, but I remember you used to have the GM in Trenton, Brother Garrett, is his name? Garrett?
Yeah, Garrett Jones, yes.
Yeah, I remember distinctively him saying one time before about there has to be a culture change, and if he was to get the job with the Texans, those things would take place culturally, right? I remember that so well. It was almost like the conversation was yesterday. And that today, looking at that article, it immediately reminded me of this conversation because that brother knew then what we just now are finding out, that there are players who were sacrificing their lives, they were sacrificing their families, they're getting meals, they're getting their contracts renegotiated by a guy who didn't even want to be there, who literally was looking across the league, so to speak, across the fence, at another job in hopes of getting another job while they are fighting to keep their jobs here in Houston.
Right.
Like, you cannot make this stuff up. Privilege amongst, it doesn't matter. Privilege, period, is so rampant in this country. And until the quote-unquote allies speak out against it and fix it, and he should never get another job, in my opinion, in the league just because of that. Just like they did Pete Rose,
yep.
They should do him the same way.
Yep. Yeah, man, I'm just telling you that right there, brother, is all kinds of way wrong. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Any general manager, owner that hires him in the NFL after this, that says all you need to say about that person. That will say more about them than it does about Bill O'Brien, because he thought that was okay. He thought that was a good idea to do. He thought that was the way to go, rather than being, I'm going here, forget this, rather than being a grown man and go and look the McNairs in the eye face to face, I'm talking about Cal and his wife, and say, look, y'all have been really good to me. I've got an opportunity, or I would like to pursue the possibility of going and replacing Bill Belichick where I started. You can't do that like a grown man?
No, bro.
No, man.
He knows where his bread is buttered, and he knows that nothing is ever going to happen to him for being the way that he is. I mean, and it's sad. And this organization, to allow that kind of foolishness. And here's the other thing I'll say, and I'll leave it alone. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize, as a leader of any company or any organization, when you have people that are going against the best interests of your company, right?
Right.
You know when people are not working incongruent with the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So at some point, you have to sit that individual down and say, hey, look, do you understand the goals and objectives that we have here? Or are you trying to meet those goals and objectives? But to then not only not do that, but give him the entire keys to the whole organization, it's almost as if to say you knew that he was trying to get fired, but you would rather keep him. It's almost like somebody trying to get out of a relationship, and you know that they're not being faithful to you, but yet you're going to still give them more to stay.
Well, I'm like this. I'm like, and hear me when I say I haven't always done it the right way. I'll just tell you, I want to finish this before I start something else. And when people can't look in the eye and say, hey, this ain't working for me no more, I want to go ahead and do something else, but choose to cheat. Again, I've been guilty. That says something about my character or that person's character. Because just like you want to look somebody in the eye and say, I'm sorry, or look somebody in the eye and say, it didn't mean anything, you ought to be able to look somebody in the eye and say, I would rather end this before I start this. And Bill O'Brien not being man enough to look them in the eye and say that. Or I'm going to take it out. Look, let me be a conspiracy theorist for a second. I'm about to tear up the whole studio. Let me be a conspiracy theorist for a second. If he went to them and said that, and they said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and let you go then. If that's why they fired him 4 games into the season last year, that's week 2. That's week 2. You know, go ahead and just tell the truth. Go ahead and just let everybody know what's going on. It shouldn't have to come out in no doggone book. Tell us what's really going on. Man, I'll tell you, boy, this organization. It's
crazy, man.
Yeah,
I got to get off this phone. I got to take this other call, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that through, bro. You're going to have me fired up. Thank you, Keith. All right, brother, you too. Longhorn Keith, man. Good Lord. What? Y'all call me on that one. I know how I feel about it. What do you think about it? If it's true that Bill O'Brien was trying to get fired by the Texans so that he could take over as the heir apparent to Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about it? To me, that's the definition of privilege. You stopped somebody from, like Lovie Smith, from getting the job, who would have done a better job. They gave you the entire keys to the organization. They ran off general managers. They ran off vice presidents of football operations. They ran off multiple different layers of employee. Bill O'Brien had a horrible reputation of cursing people out as he was firing them. And then when it came to him, reportedly, Mr. McNair gave him grace and respectfully fired him. I get it. I'm sorry. I was about to say I don't get it. I do get it. I want to hear your comments. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. I want to get your comments on that. You can text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Clarence, I see you there. Big time Cowboy fan. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all. Back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Streaming live on KYOKradio.org, also on Facebook and YouTube. And starting to get a lot of comments in about the news that I just came upon. Thank you, Longhorn Keith, for sharing it. That Bill O'Brien was trying to get fired from the Texans so he could take over for Bill Belichick in New England. Moni says, that's the worst thing that ever happened to the Texans, Bill O'Brien. Tony said, imagine promoting a coach who was actively trying to get fired. Bobby says, as he's still trying to get fired when he traded Hopkins, or was he still trying to get fired when he traded Hopkins is the real question. That's a good question. That's a good question. We can only speculate now because that will forever be a part of his legacy. He won't be able to live that one down. TDU said he sure wasn't going to quit and lose all of his money. Chris said ownership just sat there and watched this happen. Chris said, I had a feeling this was the case. Now we have confirmation. Jorge, He is just saying this to justify the decision he made in order to get another head coach job. It's saying, I wasn't terrible. I did it on purpose. Jorge, I kind of like that comment because that's something Bill O'Brien would do. Even though Bill O'Brien frequently said, oh, it's on me. I got to coach him better. We got to play better. We got to do this. We got to do that. He wasn't serious. He wasn't serious. Behind the scenes, Bill O'Brien was cussing people out. George Godsey, the special teams coach, Brock Osweiler, he was cussing people out behind the scenes, but in front of us in the media, he was snarling, oh, it was on me. I got to coach him up better. I got to call better plays. It's on me. He didn't mean that. So this could be his narcissistic way of trying to justify how horrible he was in the end with the Texans. JK says, sounds like some revisionist history to me. Yeah, I'm starting to lean that way. Keith Hennick, Robert Kraft hiring Billy O is the funniest thing I've heard of in years. LY said, bruh got promoted instead, shaking my head. I know, because the McNairs, and we said that often on this show, that Bill O'Brien was literally fooling the McNairs, literally had them believing that he was the answer to fixing everything. Rick Smith wasn't as bad as y'all thought he was. Rick Smith found DeAndre Hopkins, found J.J. Watt, found Deshaun Watson. Rick Smith did all that. Arian Foster, that's all Rick Smith. A.J. Bouye, that's all Rick Smith. Got rid of Rick Smith, and what's happened since then? What's happened since then? Bill O'Brien made the Texans organization believe he could fix everything. Front office, field, call the plays, all of that. And now we find out the dude was trying to get fired. Dr. N says they kept him trying to make DW4 happy. Yeah, because DW4 did say he didn't want to play for any other coach other than Bill O'Brien. Swisher says, imagine if we fired him and still had Rick Smith with D-Hop and Deshaun. Texans are always disappointing me, man. Swisher? This dude literally destroyed an organization for years to come in an effort to get fired. Man, I need my pressure medicine. You read another one of these. Kevo says, Bill O'Brien himself knew he should have been fired, and yet the Texans still kept him. This is all on them and not the quarterback. I see what you were trying to do there, but you stretched that all the way to Deshaun Watson. I don't think this is about Deshaun. I don't connect those two. BW says, imagine giving a first-time head coach who never did better than 11-5 or get beyond the divisional round a GM job. Cal hoodwinked his mommy into giving Sideshow Bob the reins and then sat back while his dad's legacy burned to the ground. In my opinion, Cal should be gone too. Again, all of the Cal should be gone. Jerry Jones should be gone. Let's just make sure we understand this. They own the team. This isn't a situation like Jerry Richardson down there in Carolina. It's definitely not a Donald Sterling like with the Clippers in the NBA. Being a bad owner, being dumb, making bad business decisions, that's not a cause for losing the organization when you're the owner. That's why I say ain't nothing going to change as long as Cal and Jack Easterby are calling the shots. Keith Hennig, drink some of that cowboy coffee. It will make you delusional. That's funny. All right, let me see. So y'all are firing them in. Sarah Barshop, who is an ESPN NFL national reporter covering the Texans, said, and she quotes, "In the end, though, the Texans chose Bill O'Brien over Rick Smith, giving the coach more control over football operations. O'Brien later joked to a confidant that it was a somewhat empty victory. I was trying to get fired," he said. Man, oh man, oh man. Let that sink in for a second. He cost Rick Smith his job. Rick Smith just suffered the loss of his wife to breast cancer. Rick Smith's wife was going through breast cancer treatments while the Texans were, quote unquote, moving away from him. And he cost that man his job. Watch this now. Let it sink in. Not because he wanted the job. He called it an empty victory. He was trying to get fired so he could go and take the job in New England. So you destroy another man's life while he's in the middle of fighting for his wife's life so that you could get the job you wanted? Tell me where that's okay. Tell me how that's not some form of sick, twisted, demented privilege. Yeah, y'all call me the Malcolm X of Sports Talk Radio. You getting full Malcolm today. Not Martin. Not We Shall Overcome. That's sick. That's why somebody like Roger Goodell or Troy Vincent should find some way to make sure this man never represents one of the NFL organizations as a head coach again. They make guys who are on drugs go through rehab. They make guys who use steroids sit out. What about guys that are so sick and demented and narcissistic that they need therapy and not a job? Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, this is Clarence, AJ. How you doing?
Man, I'm not good, bro. I'm not good.
Well, that's what happens when you inherit something, AJ, and you don't earn it. This man didn't even inherit the knowledge of football. He inherited his father's team, and one of them little jet setters, that just got money, and just let folks do whatever. Do you think Lovie Smith could have came in here and gave away that team like Bill O'Brien did?
There is nothing that Bill O'Brien did that Lovie Smith couldn't have done, and I believe Lovie Smith would have done it better when I look at what Lovie Smith took to a Super Bowl in Chicago.
I know that's right. That Waterhead, some guns, he's been talked about as becoming head coach of USC. Can you believe that?
I can.
Let the kids go and play for someone like that.
Yeah, and that's what I have a problem with is the fact that they would let him shape the lives and minds of kids. But when I look at how he literally sabotaged the life of Rick Smith, given what Rick was going through at that time, I wouldn't let him be over a little league. I wouldn't let him walk my dog. I would be like the old man with the water hose. Get off my lawn.
I'm surprised he's in Alabama. I can't believe it.
But you know what? That's Nick Saban. And I'm going to let that speak for itself. Nick Saban takes all those rejects, all those recovery processes. I call Nick Saban the Oprah Winfrey of college football. When somebody messes up, Go on out there to Nick Saban, and he'll revitalize your career, and you'll get another job somewhere. So that's all that is.
That's a good one. I needed that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Clarence, I don't know, brother.
Great show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I know. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right. Clarence is a good dude, man. I definitely appreciate his phone calls. Clarence got a little bit of climbing to do in the lunch break, keeping up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge standings. Right now, he's 24th. He needs to be in the top 6, but he ain't that far off. You need about 11 more wins, Clarence. He was 11-5 this week, and he can pick it up. CJ said, low down and dirty. Low down and dirty. All right, some more of your comments are coming in on social media. I'm going to read them. Texas Bearcat said, if that statement were confirmed, the NFL should step in and fine O'Brien heavily. He's saying outright that he took action as a head coach and GM to harm a franchise. If Goodell has one job, it's protecting each of the 32 franchises. If he does nothing on this, he's failed. That's a serious statement. Pete Rose has been banned from any role whatsoever in Major League Baseball because he supposedly harmed the brand by gambling on baseball. Can't even be in the Hall of Fame. They got his stats in there, but not him. There's no bust or picture of Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, which to me makes the whole Hall of Fame a joke. But anyway, I digress. Here you have a guy who didn't bet on football, but personally said sabotaging that organization was his way of trying to get fired and get the job that he wanted. No meritocracy, no hard work, no, based on what he accomplished, but lying, conniving, and doing only what God knows. I'm with you, Texas Bearcat. Goodell and Troy Vincent and all them, they should take a real good look at that. HB3 says, this is a good point. If he quits, he doesn't get paid remaining salary. Getting fired, though, he gets his bonuses and all of his remaining salary. I'm sorry. That's not extortion, but something about that doesn't seem legal. No, I take that back. I'm pushing too far on that. I know people who had the ability to quit, and they didn't quit so that they didn't get so that they would get their unemployment. So my bad. I pushed too far on that one. I admit when I'm wrong. So it just doesn't feel right though. Adam says, you're telling me that he was trying to get fired and they gave him more power? Ha, 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 ha. I'm glad I'm not a Texans fan. I would be livid. Jerry, this makes me sick to my stomach. Pete, eventually he got what he wanted. Too bad it was at the expense of an entire football organization. Mike says, don't forget the tampering stuff after they fired Gain trying to get Caserio. You're right. And not just that, the class action lawsuit for racial discrimination. That's under Bill O'Brien. All right, let me get off of this, man, because this is just making me hot. Let me go through the rest of these games. Where'd I end up? I got Dolphins over the Colts, Saints over the Giants. Even without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, I got the Titans over the Jets. I've got the Washington football team. I mean, they got to beat the Falcons, right? on the road. We'll see. I think the Lions get their first win over the Bears. I've got the Browns beating Minnesota. Eagles hosting the Chiefs. Chiefs bounce back with a win. Man, the game of the weekend, Cardinals at the Rams. Game of the weekend, Cardinals at the Rams. We'll see if the Cardinals are for real. I've got the Rams at home. Seahawks at the 49ers again. We'll see which team bounces back from a tough loss. I believe Seattle is going to win that game. They don't have to travel all the way across the country. I'm going with Seattle. Ravens at the Broncos. Broncos defense is good, but I think the Ravens are going to be too much offensively. I've got the Ravens over the Broncos. Steelers at the Packers. Packers. Until they get rid of Ben Roethlisberger, I'm going Pack. And then Buccaneers at the Patriots. Tom Brady all day. And I'm here for all of the pettiness. I'm here for all the smoke. I'm here for all the tea. Go off, Tom. And then Raiders at the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers at home. All right, let me take a break. Let me get my feelings together. I'll be right back after this on the lunch break.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happens. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. Again, that's 800-561-6198.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition, now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break, and we're pumping it up. Man, Longhorn Keith, thank you for dropping that news, bro. surprised my producer, Kev, the producer, didn't drop that to me, but I got it now. CJ says, are those energy drinks you're drinking? Be careful with those if they are. And if you don't leave me alone, girl, please, I don't put nothing in my body that I ain't good. This is called Celsius, and it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm trying to get them as a sponsor on the show, so don't be messing up my money. I'm gonna delete your posts. I'll mess with you. I posted on social media. I tweeted out Bill O'Brien trying to get fired by the Texans so he could take over for Bill Belichick is ... And Sean K. Benton, who is a good brother, big HBCU fan, said today's society. Sadly, that's what it is. That's why I call it privilege. Bill O'Brien didn't see anything wrong with it. And I'm sure once he gets interviewed, if he responds, he's going to say, hey, listen, I tried to do what I needed to do to get a job I wanted. Some people will call that hustle. Some people will call that moxie. Some people will call that, being strategic. Never mind the lives that got affected. Never mind folks that suffered because of the selfishness of Bill O'Brien. Again, I say that's the definition of privilege. You think that you deserve that, so whatever you do to get it, it's just what you had to do to get it. So I'm not making it about race. I'm not. I mean, unfortunately, there were a lot of people of color that suffered because of it. Owners are going to do what they want to do. They're going to hire who they want to hire. It's not a meritocracy. They're going to hire whoever they want to hire regardless. Again, Cliff Kingsbury did not have a winning record. He's in the NFL now with one of the best teams in the NFL. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Somebody asked me to redo my quarterback power rankings. They didn't get them. All right, let me do this real quick. Number 1, Russell Wilson. Number 2, Matthew Stafford. Number 3, Kirk Cousins. Number 4, Teddy Bridgewater. Number 5, Kyler Murray. Number 6, Patrick Mahomes. Number 7, Tom Brady. Number 8 is Jalen Hurts, who's got a 67 completion percentage right now, by the way. Number 9 is Joe Burrow. Number 10, Aaron Rodgers. Number 11, Baker Mayfield. Number 12, Jameis Winston. 13 is Derek Carr. 14 is Jimmy Garoppolo. 15, Dak Prescott. 16, Sam Darnold. 17, Justin Herbert. 18, Taylor Heineke. 19, Josh Allen. 20 is Daniel Jones. 21, Jared Goff. 22, Ryan Tannehill. 23, Matt Ryan. 24, Lamar Jackson. 25, Carson Wentz. 26, Davis Mills. 27, Mac Jones. 28, Ben Roethlisberger. 29, Jacoby Brissett. 30 is Trevor Lawrence. 31, Zach Wilson. And 32, Justin Fields. Quarterback rankings. Okay? All right. Man, let me get ready to get out of here. Let me get ready to wrap this up. Winning Wednesday again. Congratulations, Big Time Floyd, on winning the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Let's see. All right, here we go. If you are interested in competing in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge this week, I want you to get me all of your picks by tomorrow at 6:30. By tomorrow at 6:30, I got to have them. You can email them to me, aj@kyoksports.com. That's aj@kyoksports.com. You can text them 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Give me all of the winners from Thursday night's game all the way to Monday's game. And then in Monday's game, give me what you think the exact final score is going to be, 27-12, 15-13, whatever you think the final score is going to be. Give me that. That'll be the tiebreaker. And there's no purchase. There's no entrance fee, none of that. You'll just be able to win $50 from this week's sponsor, which is the Hartwell Clinic. The Hartwell Clinic is this week's sponsor. You can win $50 courtesy of them if you get more right than everyone else. Big Time Floyd was 15-1. Several people were 14-2. A lot of people were 13-3. You had a bunch of 12-4s and 11-5. So it was a good week for a lot of people. At the end of the year, you want to be in the top 6. If you're in the top 6, you'll get a chance to compete for $500. So there you go. Again, the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Challenge. Give me your picks by tomorrow, 6:30 Central. And you can email them, aj@kyoksports.com. You can text them, 832-403-5005. Don't give up now. If you haven't won yet, don't give up. You're competing for a bigger prize. CJ, you hang in there. Right now, you're tied for 14th, and you're not far off from you're only 6 wins off from the top spot. So hang in there, all right? Hang in there. All right, Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. And then, of course, in the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff. You got Shiloh Radio, and then your guy will be back with Throwback Thursday. I got a very special show coming up on Friday. Got a big surprise for y'all on Friday. I'm going to actually have some in-studio guests on Friday. That's all I'll say. I'm just telling you, I got a great show for you lined up on Friday. Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, will be with me tomorrow. All right, let me get ready to go. Sybil Wilkes is up next. As always, not this, definitely this. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. All right, here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Congressional Democrats are scrambling to extend funding for the federal government with less than 48 hours left to avoid a partial shutdown. Possible shutdown would happen at the start of the fiscal year beginning Friday if a bill to fund the government does not pass both the House and the Senate. Funding for the federal government expires Thursday at the end of this current fiscal year. Besides overall government funding and debt, lawmakers face votes on infrastructure and President Joe Biden's social welfare priorities this week. The diversity of Los Angeles is on display in the emerging race to replace Mayor Eric Garcetti. Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass formally stepped into the 2022 contest Monday, hoping to become the first female and only the second Black mayor. Bass has promised to prioritize the city's unchecked homeless crisis, which has seen trash-strewn encampments spread into virtually every corner of the city. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, okay? Y'all take care.